Hi guys, it's us again. Choose love for you.
We're going to discuss a couple of topics again. We started with a new series. Everybody needs to channel in on our channel or focus, and maybe anybody, you can give us some contributions as well. You'll see that there is a email address linked to it on our page, and yeah, we would like to get your inputs as well.
What is important in your life?
What is the value of love? What's the price you're willing to pay?
I think tonight, Rian, we should discuss money matters. Because I think
Ah,
when a marriage is falling apart or a relationship is falling apart, one of the first things that everybody thinks of is what about the money? How will I survive? How will I do this? Can I afford to divorce? Can I afford to separate from whoever? Um, and that's quite an important topic. And it,
assets play a role,
yeah,
a big
it's
role in
it's a
everybody's life.
exactly. Something we can't
Mm,
hide, something we can't not discuss.
yeah.
Right.
So you can just maybe inform the listeners or the
So
lookers
in
of.
the next few episodes, we will discuss, obviously money will be on tonight's list, time, children, big one, comfort zones, something we all, we start,
Reluctant to fall into.
yeah, we get content. Then age, and then society, and being branded. Something we know all about, so we
Yeah.
can share that with you. But
Yes.
for tonight, let's go to money matters.
All right. What a topic. Your marriage is not working. It's you've tried all the ways from seeing a psychologist. You went the whole 9 yards. Your marriage is simply not working.
Why is it not working?
Well, if two people are content,
Hmm.
because that is what we become after years of marriage. You can be married for 40 years, you can be married for 50 years, you can be married for 70 years. It's been happening globally in all societies, all economies, all walks of life, all religions, in any of the of the societies where you stay, people are falling content. In other words, I'm okay with the flaws that are there. I'm okay with being abused verbally, doesn't matter, physically,
Emotionally, physically, doesn't,
emotionally.
it's just, it's just being okay with your situation because you're not willing to change. And one of the things that's really my mojo in life is what you don't change, you choose.
That is a good one.
And I wasn't prepared to choose what I had. And that's why I stepped out.
The other thing is people are becoming comfortable of what they have, of what they know they have.
Yeah, it's,
Rather stick to the devil you know than
and the
the
devil
devil
you
you don't.
don't. I mean, the two of us, we took a big jump and a big risk, not knowing each other from a bar of soap, to falling in love, getting married. Like, shall we tell them how soon?
No, it's quick. I think they should know.
In the future, we will tell you how soon we actually got married. Um,
Uh,
people really crucified us for it. Some people support us, some don't. Some is quite expression expressing their feelings about it.
some are quite loud about it, but so what?
That's not what it's about because the topic of the whole thing is we chose love. And we chose love for a reason. We chose love because we were fed up with being content.
And you can sit and you can lie to yourself in any situation because that's what people mostly do to sort of justify their situation. They justify why I'm sitting here by talking the situation
Most
or
rubbish. And say,
talking
I'm doing
rubbish.
this for the
Yeah, you're doing
children.
it for the children, I'm doing it for the
What about my
parents, for
pension
society.
fund? What about the house? What about my dog? And so we can go on. The list just goes on.
Correct.
So what is the first thing on your list?
I say, let's say, like I said, there's no other way. You have to get
Separated.
separated from your partner, and separation is the way to go. First thing people think of: businessmen, people who they work for a salary, stay-home mums, stay-home dads, for that matter.
Okay, so when you went home and you said, I want a divorce, what was the first reaction you got?
What is going to happen with the money, my lifestyle, and the assets? That was the most first thing that
So
were,
no one asked, how can I salvage this marriage? How can I
that was not
save
even
this?
in the
How can we
discussion.
work on this?
No, that was not in the discussion. The first thing that came up was assets, money, lifestyle,
Security.
security.
End of story.
That security.
So it seems to me like security is more important than true love.
For most people, because they become content and they become okay with the situation they're in. People, I don't think, or they misunderstand true love or real love, or that's why we say choose love. And we have to go
Not a
back and see what is
lifestyle.
love. And if we, and I think just a short insert, and I know it wasn't part of your program and plan.
We never stick to the plan, so what the hell?
Yeah, what I need to say is people tend to think that love is okay, and if I'm abused, I have to accept it and turn the other cheek. You have to accept your situation and know there's no way in any situation, in any psychological classroom, whichever, or psychology classroom, wherever you will be in life, or any psychological cycle you're in, whether it's okay to being abused or okay to just be content and not being loved fully, because that's what everybody strives for, is being loved.
But where does that come from? It comes from a society.
Everybody is okay with it.
Everybody is okay with the fact that, I'm taking it from my point of view, that it's okay if a woman is being abused. And I'm not saying that my last husband
Last
abused me.
husband, not late.
It's not that yet. Oh, I wait late very often.
Yeah, well.
Not that kind of thing. Sorry,
Oh,
sorry, my dear. um, it's not okay to not be okay. Everybody tells you it's okay to not be okay. And I think they mean it in a different way. You see a lot of these things coming on Instagram or Facebook where they say, it's okay not to be okay. The hell with that. It's not okay to not be okay.
So you have to be unhappy, and that is a godly thing to do, or a religious thing to do now, to be unhappy and stick it out.
It's a society thing, because what will the people say? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I can write a book on what will the people say. I come from a small community
Yeah.
where people are like hogs watching every single move you make. You come from a city, so your neighbors doesn't really know what you're
Nobody
up to.
knows what you're doing. Yeah.
But where I live, everybody knows what I'm doing.
Now the community
And that's
will
why the children hate it so
crucify
much,
you.
because it's like everybody's pointing, laughing, thinking, wondering, whispering, skinnering. I don't know what. In the end of the day, if I have to care about what the people will think, I will never be able to live my life.
Yeah. And we all shout against gender-based violence. There's huge signs up. It's a global initiative, and people are being abused at home, and society is okay with it. Your neighbor is okay with it. The girl in the church is okay with it. The pastor is okay with it. Everybody is okay. You can be abused as long as you don't get separated. And apparently, or smoke. But it's apparently okay with children as well, because I think that is what they are being taught in school. It's, you have to work on your marriage. Okay, what is work in your marriage? Is it taking abuse, or is it small minor things like I don't do the dishes and I put my cup under the chair, picking that up? That's fine. We can work. That's small things. It's not.
That's work on a marriage.
That is changing a small lifestyle thing.
But that's working on a marriage. That's not suffering a marriage.
Correct. That's the right word.
To suffer a marriage.
Yeah, it's true.
And the moment you choose to suffer a marriage, you're in the wrong house, my love. You must get out.
And you gave up love. When the people do their wedding vows, it's all about love.
Yeah, we will do our vows for you in one episode.
Yeah.
And we will actually show you the true day that we did the vows. I know Rian doesn't want you to see that for his own stupid reasons.
I couldn't get past soulmate.
But that is what love should be about. Is we should be able to express our feelings and our emotions openly, and that's the thing that we are being crucified for the most.
Showing affection.
Because PDA, public display of affection.
Yep.
My kids has a problem with it. My family have a problem with it.
I think
most people have a problem with it, but when we display it publicly, in an area where the people do not know us, you can see the jealous people around us. You can see men moving closer to their wives. Suddenly people will sit like this, well now the guy will hold his
Touching
wife.
hands and sitting next to
They
each
will
other.
move their chairs closer.
Yep.
People will come up to us in a shop and say, don't stop loving each other. Never stop
Mm.
showing love to each other. People, we encourage people. We dance at the airport.
Yeah, and
And
people are
that
taking
lady came up
videos.
to us and she said, like, never stop doing this because you are actually alive and we can see your love.
They take videos, they take
And
photos
Canal
in
Walk.
the
I
Canal
mean,
Walk in
for
Cape
gosh,
Town in
we
South
brought the whole
Africa.
mall to a still stand
We did a dance next to a
because,
guy with a violin, and everybody went
and
and
we
took
didn't do it
pictures. It's just for us.
we
We just
didn't do
enjoy
it
it.
because we wanted the attention of people. That's, I think, what someone might miss.
Yeah. No,
We
no,
did it
we
because
do.
it was our song that was playing,
Correct. And we enjoy dancing
and we love
with each
dancing.
other.
We love dancing with each other, and the moment was right, and we created something beautiful, something that other people envied.
Yep. And I think that's where the why. And then it's, I know the psychologists that will agree with this, and I think they're watching as well. And it's been a proven fact that something that you hate in somebody else is a shortcoming in your own life. So you hate it because I don't have it. So I don't owe it. So you don't need to have it. And people need to
I
identify
don't
the
want you to have it because I'm so jealous,
yeah.
and that's what it
So they start
boils
gossiping,
down to.
and that's what they're saying that you have again. If you don't change it, you choose it.
If you don't change it, you choose it.
Exactly. So if you choose to be unhappy, please don't gossip about the people who are really happy.
Oh yeah. But if you want to gossip, I mean, for Pete's sake, here we are. Go right ahead, shoot at us. Back to money matters. When you separate or divorce, whatever, you have to make peace with the fact that you will be giving up a lot of what you put into this life. Things that actually define you, and I put that in brackets because did it really define you? Did it really make you happy? Or was it just part of what you were chasing in the rat race?
I think
Assets?
people, as it's people, remember, people are chasing a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So
We
when
all
you,
have this big dream of happy marriage, picket fence,
yeah, and
two
then
kids and a dog and a
nice
cat.
sports car, and you have the big house, and the kids are
Yeah.
running around. Everybody's happy-go-lucky. Mommy's smiling, and daddy is happiness. Problem with everything there is, should there be a separation? The first thing that comes to mind is your assets. Number one, because you've built a lifestyle. I'm suddenly driving a sports car, and now I have to give it up because it's a separation. You need to give the other partner what's also worth giving away.
Okay.
And what are you willing to pay for love? Are you willing to give up your sports car, your big house? Are you willing to put up your assets, your lazy
Pension
boy
fund,
couch,
eh?
and
Pension fund is a big thing.
your
You've
pension
been
funds?
working for 35, 40 years towards
Yeah.
something, and now someone wants half of it.
Are you going to stay? Are you going to choose to be unhappy, or are you going to stay to choose
You
love?
have no money.
Yeah,
You choose
it's
money
true.
or you
Money
choose
or the
love.
box. Choose yours. That's what you can
Gosh,
choose.
I'm easy. I chose love.
I choose love. I'll choose it again, and I've chosen love, and I'll choose it again. And
We can be honest. I mean, we walked out with girls.
zero, we gave it up. We really, assets did not even matter. It was not a point of discussion for us even. We were so awed and struck by the idea of finding your real soulmate, your real person, your life partner, your life, becoming one. We were so struck by that, and then we were both called of God. And I was willing to give up, and I did. Literally, I did not walk out with a couple of boxes of my clothes and a couple of exercise stuff. Vehicle stayed behind, house stayed behind, furniture stayed behind, everything. And I gave 80% of my salary, 90% away to just to get out of it and choose my love.
I want to make something very clear. Neither Ria nor myself were in abusive relationships.
Not at all.
Remember
No.
that. I've been in abusive relationships before. But my last marriage wasn't an abusive relationship. And that's one of the things I think shocked the world the most.
Because we were married for a long time.
We were married for a long period of time. And everybody knew you and your wife, me and my ex-husband. And the whole way we lived and the society we lived in knew, okay, those two are together.
Correct.
It's easier for you because you don't
I was
go
staying
back
out of, correct.
to the city, and you don't walk in the same malls or the same shops and things. Different for me because we still have an underage son.
Correct.
We still need to go to the same sports day. This past weekend, we had our very first sports day that we had to conquer, and
Was easy.
we did. I was nervous. I wasn't sure what to expect. I never had to share a child with anyone. I always walked out with my children. So it's different. It's strange. And yeah, I got some looks from people that used to be my friends. And you know what? Screw you too, girl. You don't have what it takes. Sorry, I didn't
Correct.
mean that. I didn't mean that.
That's
I
an,
absolutely
I
meant
mean
that.
it. Because we are so
You are so freaking unhappy in your marriage, and I know that, and you know that I know.
correct. And you can't,
And
and
you
you're
give me
idiotic
the
enough
evil
to stay.
eye. I bet this.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
that doesn't go down
no.
well. But you know what? You choose what works for you. If money works for you, go for it. Money, my dog doesn't need money.
The main problem is, and I think it's happening in society all around us, and you can talk to private detectives. People who choose the assets and the money,
They never have.
they know what, but they do, but not even happiness. They think they're happy by crossing the line by having affairs with secretaries, with each other, with, and it's happening not in only your bottom part of your Maslow triangle. It's happening in the top echelons between engineers, doctors, and everybody.
No one is excluded.
Nobody's excluded from this. But you think you can buy your happiness by having an affair. It's work, number one. Number two is you are working against your own principles and your own ideologies, and also, I don't know, you did your wedding vows and you did it most probably, I think, so let's say 80% of the people around will do it in a church. So you do it in a church and you stand there in front of your God and you promise that, and you are prepared to give up that. You want to claim to the world that I'm a spiritual person and I'm a religious person, but yet you are willing to give up that.
But only temporary. Remember, when you have an affair, you're only giving it up temporary.
And it's temporary. Affair is temporary.
For 3 hours a week,
15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour,
whatever.
So
for that amount of time, you've cut ties with your religion, your family, your wife,
your children start time.
children, your job, because you move and you be someone else. You are a different person, being with a different person,
and you think you're good.
Not actually part of your standard.
No.
And then once time has run out, it's like seeing a prostitute. Oh, sorry, the hour is over.
I need to go.
Get out,
exactly.
give me my money and off you go.
So if you choose your assets, it's not a problem. It's your prerogative to do it. But except that you're giving up something in any case.
You're losing.
You're losing something, and that is yourself. And you can lie to yourself, but you can't lie to wherever you're going to, or whatever your plan is, or whatever your path lays down to you. So, yeah, choose right.
Yeah, I don't think money is important. Yeah,
you need to have it.
But I'm 38 plus VAT and some small change, and at this stage of my life, it's not the most important thing anymore.
No.
Having you in my life is more important than having 50 grand in my bank account.
Correct. And to me the same.
And not having 50 grand in my bank account is not much of a hassle, because I'm completely happy to stay on this beautiful farm with you, small little house, kiss
we
you,
still have each other.
Love you, 24 hours a day,
my
instead
dear.
of having 50 grand in my bank account, being unhappy, probably go out drinking or screwing around or whatever, because I was only content, not happy.
My dear, I can tell you, I can show you, take your households, which is prime property, people earning $500,000 a month plus, and I can show you, and your hair will raise if you see what's happening behind the scenes in those houses.
Of course.
The orgies, the fights, the hits, the abuse, whatever is going on behind the doors.
I have a friend like that.
It's happening, unfortunately, but it's happening globally. And as long as you're being abused behind the scenes, it's okay. That is my
As
point.
long as when the gate closes and you step outside, people see your car and they see your makeup and they see your hair and nails and they see your smile and lovely waves,
Yeah, then
and
you're
then
good.
everything seems to be fine. You can still go to private school,
Yep,
but is that really, if I die tomorrow, I want the people, I'm not having a funeral by the way, but anyway, I want the people to say she lived her life.
correct.
I
What?
didn't I didn't do the rat race. I didn't chase money. I didn't chase material things. I chased a soul.
I think Steve Jobs mentioned that when he had cancer in his last days, and he said that you cannot take any of those assets to your grave, but love you will always need in your life, and you will need to have love in your life when you grow old, because when you're 80, 100, or older for that matter, when you grow old together, what do you have? What if you can't travel anymore, you can't drive your sports car anymore, who do you have to comfort you every day? Each other.
Only each other.
Only each other. And what is the most important thing for you to be able to make way for yourself to say, I'm laying this life down to go to eternity over and cross over? Is you have to be content, not content, happy in this life, and knew I got love, and with love I can put my head down, I can cross over to another life. And that only then when you can let go.
I'm not letting you go just yet, love. Just so you know.
I'm not
you,
old enough
you
for that yet.
promised me 45 years.
We'll go for 105. So yeah, next on the list is we touch slightly base on children, friends, family. We're going to cover, I think, cover all three in
We
one.
will cover that in the next episode.
No, we can cover them quickly.
You
Just
think that's a long topic?
all right. With that, let's leave those out because it's going to be a long discussion. A simple thing like an animal, not simple,
That's
but
not simple.
animals become children.
Yeah.
I think you
In
understand
a
it better
lot
than
of,
me.
yeah, you've never had that bond with dogs and birds and snakes and cats and whatever. Um, when I chose love, I had to be prepared to leave some of my animals behind because I couldn't bring all of them here. And now if you think in a relationship where there's like one dog between two people, who gets the dog? I mean,
An
if you
animal can't
tell
speak and
me
choose.
that um, I need to choose between you and Bruno now, like,
Gonna be a hard one.
that's gonna be
Depends
tough,
on who
eh?
bites the hardest.
That's
I
gonna
better
be
start
tough
biting.
because I can't let my dog down and I'm not giving you up.
Yeah.
So, so say for instance, I only had this one dog in my marriage, and I wanted to get a divorce. I mean, for me, my animal is so important that I would actually stay longer and wait until he dies. You understand where I'm going?
Yeah,
Like, sit it out. And people tend to do that with children. People always say like, I'm not getting divorced because of my children. They're still too young. They're
that
too
is the
this, too that.
most biggest reason.
Guys, that is the biggest
Illusion.
illusion. That's the
That is
biggest
the
mistake you can
biggest
make
mistake to
when
tell.
you decide to get a divorce or a separation, yay or nay. Don't do it because the children are too small.
They're
Do it
never too
when they're
small.
small. Don't do it when they're
Correct.
big.
Psychologists always, and I
Yeah.
remember I've had it in psychology, and it was like one of the topics, and it was about teenagers in, I think it was like in America, and due to separation or divorces, they tend to take their own lives. And so people, the society and the world globally, they think it's better to separate rather than when they are grown ups.
Oh, food is coming. No, it's dinner time.
So they
Sorry.
tend to think it's better to separate when they are bigger adults, younger adults, because younger children tend to do that. That is an illusion. We've experienced it. The younger children accept it and adopt to the situation much better and
Like
faster and
this.
quicker
Yeah.
than the young adults who think they know, that they have found themselves already. They haven't been through life yet. They haven't been in marriages yet. They haven't been going through tough times together. They haven't been through sick and ill and hell and whatever there is to say. and they've never been in hell for that matter, because
We've always covered for them.
if I look at, and we're speaking about our situation, our kids have always been sorted and always been pampered and always been in a better place, always been
Well,
placed first, and they were also spoiled. So in that point, the young adults are now becoming arrogant because they've got their own view of what life should be, which is society's way of be unhappy. As long as mom and dad doesn't fight at home, they're happy.
as long as they don't smoke.
As long as they don't smoke,
I always
they're
say in
happy.
South Africa, you can abuse wives, you can abuse children, as long as you don't smoke.
Yeah, you can
So-
drink, you can do whatever you do. The neighbors don't even frown upon that. They don't even frown upon abuse, whether it be on the children, on the man or the wife or whoever. They don't get separated. Because if you separate and you go for
Don't
better
choose
life,
love. You can separate, but don't choose love.
don't choose love. Because if you choose love,
You can separate. My kids were happy for me being on my own.
yeah, you're allowed to be on your own,
I was
and
allowed to separate, divorce, but I wasn't allowed to have you.
yeah, and being unhappy, and myself as well.
I was allowed to be separated and getting a divorce and be single.
Unhappy
They would be
single,
unhappy and single.
and you have to grow old without a partner, without
That was
support.
fine with my kids.
That's okay. It's okay. You can sit in old age homes
Yeah, yeah.
alone
And they weren't
while they do the work, and
Yeah.
I know, and it's the same feeling I'm getting. My children actually just wrote me off and say, that's it, I'm not part of your life anymore. Point is, we're going to discuss that in a later program. We said that, but that's the point. It's part of your assets, part of what you're giving up for love. And
we will be crucified for this episode because
I know,
we chose love before our kids. And I for one always said I will never ever choose a man before my children.
me as well, above my children,
But I never chose you.
it was never a choice.
It was never a choice.
Correct.
Number one, it wasn't a choice. I chose love. I chose you.
They have been part of
Children
this.
made a choice.
But they were the best of all is they were a part of this decision. We have always said, let's include them. So they never lost a parent. Never. It was never a discussion that you're going to lose a parent or being separated from the other parent. But we'll get to that. Another thing I want to touch on the assets, and it's where your life partner can become, or use it maybe as a tool to whip you, a whip.
Yeah.
It's like personal things like photos. You know, you walk in and you have to take your stuff, and it's like, okay, choose a photo between that and that now to see who are you choosing and what are you choosing, and so you choose something above something. Simple thing like a photo. Who's taking this photo and who's using that one?
Yeah.
Or you don't get any photos because you don't want this life anymore. And then that is all whips that they pull.
You have to be able to part from so many things that you held dear for so many years. And if the person you chose, if the love you chose is in the end is not worth all of that, then I think you would be quite unhappy.
You will be.
So when you make this decision, you must be sure that you make it for the right reasons, number one. It's not just a get out of jail
Correct.
card.
No.
When you make this decision, you must put everything into it. You have to put each other first.
Always first. And
I mean, both of us are still learning in that process. But
it's new.
I think putting each other first came quite naturally for us.
It's easy.
It's easy to love you, so it's easy to put you first.
And I think people shouldn't now go out, and it's not a wild goose chase.
No.
We don't say, separate today, take the first person you look you in the eyes and look pretty or beautiful or whatever, and just take and go. You will know. And it's going to be a topic of its own, yeah, because that one is a long one. You will just know when it's the right person. And it's not a temporary thing. And it doesn't have to, you don't have to know each other for 20 years to find out about that. You will just know that it's just like the stars, and businessmen out there will understand it better. Maybe you do that one deal which was like almost important to get, or the most important thing to get, but almost impossible to get. And when you got that deal, the stars aligned, the moon was in the right place, the cheese was on the right spot in the plate, and everything was just perfect. And you just match, you click, you align. Get to know the person, because there is a lot of fake people out there. People are living lives fake lives so long.
Especially through social media. That's an important thing.
Exactly.
I don't think you should just run after someone you've
In
met on
social media.
I
Yeah.
think if you meet someone in real life, that's a different thing. But I just want to come back to what this whole thing is about. We are not here saying separate, get a divorce. We are here encouraging you to choose love. If you are married to the person you can choose love with, you freaking stay there and you'll be happy. If you are not married to that person and you don't like what you have, if you don't change it, you choose it. So our first prize would be for any married couple
Is to stay in your...
to fall back in love
Yeah.
like we've fallen in love at the age of 38 plus that and some small change.
Couple of months. What people need to understand also, and I've experienced it, I think most people experience it, when you stay in when you're in your marriage and you choose to try again and work on it and then get through it.
When is enough enough?
A tango takes two to do it. You can't tango alone. Yeah. A tango is a dance for two. Love is a dance for two. Yeah. And you can pretend, and that's why you say it's a true thing that you mentioned, is a social media personality is not always the person behind the scenes and the camera we stay with in the house. And that's where people burn their fingers, because I'm this person on social media, and when I walk into my own house, I'm somebody else. You need to be correct. So if you work on your marriage, you need to have the same jacket and be consistent at least, and really work. Love the person in front of you. Just love them. It's easy to touch, to love, to say I love you. You're beautiful.
How many times a day do you tell me you love me?
I think 1,000 plus, and I think I'm bowling very low. Yeah, I'm aiming bottom 1,000 plus a day, because I do really love you, and that is the main thing. You have to find the person that you're really in love with, and when you go in your marriage, go back to where you start off. Why did you fall in love in the first place? You fell in love with a person, with somebody. Sometimes, and it's very rare, but it happens, that the person is slightly fake, and there's like unpretended, and after the honeymoon is over, the honeymoon is over. But then it's for you to choose. And if a person is giving you fake love, they deserve to get a divorce. Come on, I'm honestly, and yeah, they deserve it. Because if you are walking into a marriage for the wrong reasons, for money, for a car, for a house, for fame,
just because you're at the age where you're supposed to get married.
Yeah, because society again.
A friend of ours who did that.
Exactly.
They were at the getting married age, so they quickly pushed through 2 children, and it's a balls up. I mean, it's a complete disaster.
Correct. Children don't save a marriage, please.
They can't save marriages.
Children can't save it. It's putting more strain. It's putting more strain on your marriage.
They can break them up. Though.
They can break them up, but they can't save it.
No.
So that is a mouthful for today. We're going to touch on the same point we actually wanted to touch and say, what are you willing to give up? Will you? And you have to go and think now, because for the next one, if your children if you choose your love and your children decide to write you off as a parent, although you can be the super mom, super dad for years, they just turn a blind eye, because nobody is as blind or as deaf as the one who doesn't want to hear or see. And they can pretend that, yeah, because they're protecting the other partner. We understand that, but nobody said that you are going to be separated from a parent because they fall in love with somebody else. No one. You're always a part of that plan, that family. You can be part of both families. You don't have to choose. There's never an option.
There shouldn't even be a discussion of choice.
Correct.
Because you don't love your mother and you love your father. You love your parents.
How can you resign from a dad or a mum?
Exactly.
I give my resignation. I don't want to be your child again. Sorry, my DNA, I'm putting it back. The genes are...
I don't want it anymore. I'll just go with the other.
I'm just going to open that DNA door now, and 100% of that side, or genes or whatever it's counting, chromosomes, and that's it.
Take your blue eyes. I don't want them.
Yeah,
I don't need them anymore.
Exactly my point. So yeah, it's fun and games, but we're going to touch these topics next time, and thank you for listening.
I hope there was something good in this. We are still very new at this whole shooting episodes things. So we were supposed to talk only about one thing. We ended up talking about a lot of things. But I think this is us getting used to the camera, getting used to you guys,
But
getting used to having these discussions
it's also
and being honest. That's the main thing, being honest
correct.
all the time.
I think we're jumping also from between the topics. For us, we talk passionately because it's a passion for us. It's something we
We can't stop
dearly
it.
missed in our lives, and we got it at last, and we are so passionate to keep it and make it work. We want to share it with people and say you can make it work. Doesn't matter what age you are. You can be 50, 60, 80, 100. You can be 20.
38
38 in a couple of months and
plus
seconds
that.
plus that. So yeah, you can make it work, but that is, we jump and we talk and it's spontaneous because it is a passion for us, and we've been missing out on this for many years. I think everybody deserves at
We
least
all deserve
to be loved.
true love. We all deserve to choose love. And we all deserve the support of our friends and family for doing that. But we do understand the fact that it's difficult for some, and we do understand that some people want to choose different
Yeah,
than what we choose, and it's okay. But we will not give up on each other because